Our journey begins. It is day 127, October 5, 2024, and I'm going to sketch out what I'm going to do once I've created new lang, or once we've created the new language, like what's going to happen from then. And I think that will help help in the general understanding of like what is actually happening. So basically, we have this thing called new lang, which is basically just like a code name for like new language, which has a different structure, has a lot of various components. I guess I'll just put that in here. New language that is structured much differently than current languages. Okay, so basically one of the first things I think will be, you know what, I think if I remember correctly, it goes like this. I think it will be to build a code interpreter to run this natural language. Okay, well, there's a couple other steps in here, such as creating new lang using computer program. I've already sketched out what the computer program will need to do. And then I need to learn new lang. Probably could take a while, considering it's going to be like a whole step up in how things currently function. So once I have the code interpreter built, this will enable us to kind of build a lot of things, including the construction of construction of the blockchain-based smart contract system for the OCC project. I'd say kind of creating, okay, creating automations. This itself, being able to code in a natural language, would enable for the ability for anyone to create applications easily that can solve real-world problems. Then, once we have that, I know you could say, well, you can do that with current no-code solutions or whatever, and that's true, but that will also allow me to create the social networking profiling methodologies for the OCC project. And then it will allow me to create the DNA profiling, the unique tree DNA fractal design. But yeah, I mean, basically the overall summary is that it will allow me to create the full stack of all self-organizing coordinating mechanisms for the ecosystem. Okay. That will also enable for, along with various automations, robotics. So that's like the core. But like, of course, once you have this one, can I change this to like this particular one to be a different color? Oh, I think I can. If I click on this and do this button, I can change it to be this color. Yeah. Because once you have this, basically you can accomplish lots and lots of stuff. So, but yeah, like, I don't know how much I want to go into detail. I mean, this is also the big one here. I'm going to set that to like a green. So I'll kind of explain here as a summary. I will be creating the new language once I've determined the exact self-organizing principles. Or the starter. Let's go with starter. Self-organizing principles. And okay. So once we determine the starter self-organizing principles, we will be creating the actual language using the computer program, because obviously me creating a whole new language would take a long time. But if I can create those self-organizing principles, then it should go pretty smoothly. And then once new language is created, which will be structured in a completely different way, all the components that I've talked about just in yesterday's video, I've talked about like what are those components, what are those differences. Then I'll need to learn a new language, which could take a year. I mean, could take a couple months. I think because it will be so logical, might not take as long as we think. But it could take longer because it will allow for much deeper levels of expression. I imagine to be able to speak this language, we'll need to sort of evolve a little bit. And so that evolution process might take longer than a few months. Once we have that, then we can build the code interpreter to run this natural language. Once you have a code interpreter that can run, you type in code using this natural language, and you fundamentally understand. And this is probably going to be like basically the last coding language we ever create. I mean, that's a bold statement, but you never know. Then we can create basically anything and everything, including all of the various aspects that I have for creating the coordinating mechanism. Because the main goal is to create the coordinating mechanism. So building the new language is sort of the first step for that. And so once we have that, we can create the ability for anyone to create applications easily that can solve real-world problems. The construction of blockchain-based smart contract systems for the OCC project, the creating of various automations of all sorts. I have loads of really high quality, like big ideas that could change the world, but I don't have the resources or the ability to code them. Even if we did, like, even if I wasn't an expert coder, I don't think we actually have the ability to bring them to life. We could bring a version of them to life, but not the version that I'm imagining. And then ultimately, basically creating the full stack of self-organizing coordinating mechanisms for the entire ecosystem, which will include the social networking profiling methodologies, creating the unique DNA profiling, and there are so many other aspects of the coordinating mechanism. Basically, the coordinating mechanism, which I've outlined in a video where I just talked through all the elements of that, is a way to allow for the bringing about sort of the force by which the world becomes the best place possible. All right, so I think that's it, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.